You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, we're going to be talking about the official sponsor of the NFL here in this video. That would actually be Bud Light, longtime sponsor of the NFL. Now, Bud Light is in the trash. People were actually threatening not to even watch the NFL draft because of Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney has single-handedly destroyed Bud Light. And I don't believe Bud Light is going to recover. I still do believe that that Bud Light as a name will one day have to be rebranded, probably sooner rather than later, because nobody is buying the beer. Nobody. It has lost the top spot to Modelo Especial. And boy, just being seen with a Bud Light. Can you guys just imagine being seen with a Bud Light? And when it comes to sports, Boston Red Sox fans, not one single person in a viral video was actually in line to buy a Bud Light. They were buying other stuff. Congratulations, Bud Light. This is how you destroy your company with Dylan Mulvaney. Well, Dylan Mulvaney, as you guys know, is actually a man who's identifying as a little girl. Now, Dylan Mulvaney has been doing this 365 days of girlhood, not being a woman. This is all an act, guys. It is all an act. And if any company wants to do business with Dylan Mulvaney after the Bud Light disaster, good luck, because you're not going to get a return on your investment. Well, guys, we need to talk about Dylan Mulvaney because Dylan Mulvaney now wants to come to the Super Bowl. A Super Bowl ad, to be more specific here. Boy, Dylan Mulvaney was actually on with The Cut, I believe, in an interview. And Dylan Mulvaney's not holding back. I believe that Dylan Mulvaney is serious on this. Look here on Breitbart. Dylan Mulvaney wants to do epic Super Bowl ad after Bud Light fiasco. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you got so many eyes on the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl commercials are pretty famous too as well. That is why companies spend millions of dollars for a 30-second spot on Super Bowl Sunday. Now, here's the thing. In 2023, a 30-second slot actually cost the company somewhere around $7 million. Now, I don't know about you guys, but what company is actually going to waste at minimum $7 million? And by the time Dylan Mulvaney, because Dylan Mulvaney gives like a time frame for this to happen, like in 10 years, by that time, the average 30-second spot may be more like $12 million, $14 million. Who is actually going to spend that kind of money using Dylan Mulvaney to promote a product? It's going to be a waste of money. But you know what? Maybe some other woke company will actually do this. Maybe Bud Light will say, hey, Dylan Mulvaney, just come on back. Because Dylan Mulvaney wants to do this in a beer ad on Super Bowl Sunday. Let's read this, guys. Dylan Mulvaney, the transgender TikTok influencer who almost single-handedly destroyed Bud Light and sent owner Anheuser-Busch into billions in financial losses, is pleading for someone to hire him for an epic beer commercial for an upcoming Super Bowl. In a new interview with The Cut, Mulvaney said he hopes he gets a bit Super Bowl ad in about, quote, 10 years. I highly doubt this is going to happen. This has to be a joke, right? This has to be a joke. Because I'm pretty sure Dylan Mulvaney can't be serious on this, right? Maybe he is. But Dylan Mulvaney says this, quote, maybe it'd be epic if in like 10 years I got to do a beer commercial for a Super Bowl, he added. He said in an interview on Wednesday, which is today, by the way. Mulvaney also notes that he was shocked by how swift and decisive the backlash was for his brief but disastrous partnership with Bud Light. That is the official sponsor of the NFL. So I don't know how Dylan Mulvaney thinks that this would actually work out. You partnered with the official sponsor of the NFL, Bud Light, and the backlash was so immense. What makes you think that a beer company, wants anything to do with you when it comes to a sponsorship on a Super Bowl ad? This will end in disaster. Like right now, Super Bowl is actually going to be in Vegas this upcoming season, 2024. Let's say Modelo decide to do it, okay? Modelo is owned by a company in New York, in America. In other countries, it's actually owned by Anheuser-Busch. Now, Modelo, with it being the number one selling beer in America, if they said, hey, Dylan Mulvaney, we want you to do a 30-second ad for the Super Bowl, sign on the dotted line. Dylan Mulvaney does that. That commercial actually plays at the Super Bowl. What do you think is going to happen? Modelo Especial would go the way of Bud Light. It would be a disaster. It would be a financial disaster. I mean, Dylan Mulvaney is the destroyer of brands. Now, remember, Dylan Mulvaney also had a partnership with Nike. That didn't get as much backlash because a lot of people were already out on Nike for what they're actually doing with China. But when it comes to Bud Light, the base is conservatives. At least it was. Not anymore. I mean, it just ended in disaster, man. There's no way that the company is going to be able to actually make a comeback. I mean, Super Bowl, really? Maybe this is just another grift from Dylan Mulvaney. Because Dylan Mulvaney cannot be serious about this. Dylan Mulvaney has to know that a company wants nothing to do with him, especially when it comes to the Super Bowl, one of the most watched events in the world. Can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious. But Dylan Mulvaney is a grifter. A grifter. I believe a lot of companies have probably learned a lesson, at least I hope so, from what Bud Light did with Dylan Mulvaney. Bud Light is at ball parts and people aren't buying beers at ball parts because of you. It's not going to work. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.